Okay. So I wanted to share a few of these amazing like ads and creatives that I've come across, and each one is like subsequently better than the last. And these strategies are just, I have not used them myself. I haven't come across them anywhere else. So I wanted to get your reaction. You haven't seen these, right? You haven't watched these clips that we're about to go or anything that we've spoken about. So I want to get your, yes. Live on the pod. That's the reason I sent it to you. Okay. So, I think this is a super like sneaky and underutilized tactic that I don't know how long it's going to be around for, actually, but it's available right now. And it's specifically for businesses that sell services. I think this is a really great strategy. And so I think it was maybe like a month ago, maybe about 2 months ago, I got an email, and an email was from PayPal. And I had 2 cents deposited in my PayPal along with a message.
Okay.
And it was this service provider. I don't want to plug any service or agency here, but they're like, they're pitching me on, working with them as an agency. And they're like, hey, just my 2 cents, but blah, 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 blah. Here's the opportunity. I know that time is short. I've recorded this quick video for you to watch. If it makes sense, go to it. And then, so firstly, that alone, I got 2 cents and I'm like, oh, cool. So I got the deposit with the message note. And so the way they were able to find me was they just found the email. So they found the domain, and then they found the email of the domain to see if I had a PayPal account. And all they did was send 2 cents. And now they have my full undivided attention. Like the cost per when we're doing advertising, we're like, okay, what are the CPMs? What's cost per lead? And then how does that convert? This just cut straight through that noise, straight to the jugular. And man, I was so intrigued because that was insane.
I'm impressed because
Yeah.
the fact that they've literally sent you money, so they've already kind of like they've already hit that part of the psychological brain to go like, hey, like they actually like me, even though it's 2 cents, and then they've used that as a kind of, hey, just my 2 cents, like, hey, just my dollar, just saying if you guys want to start sending us dollars instead.
Mate, it was nice. So clever. And because it sticks to this part of the psychology, and I'll talk about the flow in a second, because even the flow is amazing. So what happened next? But if I find $1 in my shorts, I get so excited. But true. If I get refunded $10 digitally or $100, I couldn't care less. Or even if $1,000 gets deposited, it's okay, that's cool. But I find $1 that I didn't expect. I'm just like, oh, look at this physical money. It feels so great. And so when it's unexpected, it just feels amazing. And so I think they really hacked into that part with their strategy. I thought that was so clever. And their framing was great too. So they're like, okay, I know time is short and I don't want to waste your time. This is why we've contacted you this way. So here's a link and we've put something together that makes sense for you. And if it makes sense, we can move forward. It goes to, this link goes to a landing page where it's all the testimonials of what they do and just a simple VSL video sales letter video. No faces, just they're sharing slides and they're just talking about the opportunity. They're like, hey, this is this. If you'd like us to add this much to your monthly revenue, just click the calendar link below and book in a call. That's it. And man, I bet you the uptake on that is absolutely insane. I actually went ahead and funnel hacked them. So I did book in a call. And then I asked the salesperson, because I wanted to know. Yeah, of course. How many people uptake on this 2 cents that's being sent. And it's a crazy 60% response rate. And they only send, the cost per their responses is 2 cents. That's insane. And obviously you got to find brands and look and see if they got PayPal accounts. But anyways, I thought that was insane. And that's one of the 3 I want to share with you today. But any thoughts on that before I move on?
First of all, it's amazing because like you said, it's hacking into the brain. I would love to understand where the ideation came from, because I know that years ago, there used to be companies that would send people in the post, they would send them money. They'd send them 50 cents or they'd send them $1 and they'd say, hey, look, here's $1 just for opening up this. If you're interested in learning more. And you've created that psychological connection immediately. They gave me $1. First of all, if I'm not interested, but I know people, I'm going to tell people I just got $1 from this company. So you've created a word of mouth focus as well. Again, you said though, you don't know how long it will last. Man, I don't know. I feel like if you raise the stakes a little bit, offer, people have done it with coupons before, I guess, but it doesn't have the same strength as that 2 cents, does it? So it's very interesting, huh?
Yeah, I think the 2 cents would have worked better than the dollar too, because it's a common saying. Here's my 2 cents. Here's how I think I can help you. You know, I just think it's so clever, and it is kind of taking that lumpy mail package in the physical world. You know, it was like a whole business thing where there was like, you know, kachki items you'd send, right? But instead they just put it digitally, and I think that's very, very clever, and I would love to try it. I think the elements of coming up with this idea was this. It's like, how are my target demographic getting, like, for lack of a better term, accosted by my competition? And how can I do it in a way and speak to them in a place where there is no competition? Like, where's the blue ocean of communication? That's really what they found there. And I was like, that's so clever.
If you were going to test this, right, how would you go about it? Like, let's say layman's terms, just in your mind, like short version, how would you test it, like rapidly?
Oh, okay. So I deposit $10 in my own PayPal account.
Yep.
That gives me how many goes at it?
That's
like
a lot.
Just a ton.
That's a lot of
it's
testing.
2 cents. That's a lot, mate. That's a lot.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna build a list of like my top 100 clients that could use my service, and that would really help.
The dream list.
And then I'm just gonna find their emails. What was that?
The dream list.
The
dream list.
Exactly.
The people you would love to have as clients. So I love that. I love having a dream list. Yep.
Oh yeah, Brunson talks about that. Russell Brunson talks about that all the time, right? You're the dream 100. And so once you get that dream list, just find their emails, find all the emails for the owners of the brand, because that's usually whose PayPal's account is connected. And then just put it in PayPal and see if it comes up as somebody, because it'll be very quickly, you'll see if it doesn't come up. So that, figuring out whether they have an account or not is super duper easy.
How would you find the emails? How would you find their emails?
Okay. All you need to do is find their domain and then find the first name of the founder.
The person. And normally, 9 times out of 10, I love that. Like, So the reason I'm asking Rafay these things is just because we just want to break down things. Like we're a bit nerdy, and we might say things which doesn't make sense to some people because we just get excited. So we're going to consistently attack each other with, how would you do that though? Fair. How would you do that? So
good.
I love that idea. I love that idea of, like, you know, you find out their domain, and 9 times out of 10, it's either going to be their name plus domain, or hello@domain, or something. What's another one that's used pretty regularly?
I think especially for who you want to get in contact with, you probably would just go hello and domain, or first name dot last name is also a very common one at domain. Usually you don't get like support, because that's not the right type of person you want to talk to either, right? That's not the email. So those two you'd get the majority for sure.
And then you'd go on to PayPal and you put that email in, and then it would tell you if it's connected to the account, right?
Yeah.
Boom, you've just made a list.
That's right. There you go. So, and then you set it up, right? So obviously you need to have a landing page, like a really quick, it was only a 10-minute video, by the way, and the landing page is very simple. Like, you could bang it out in like maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes, you'd have that landing page done. You do a quick recording with some decent slides, and then you're good. And then you can just test this. And so if you're an enterprising individual, I'd give yourself like, it'd be like a hackathon. Over the weekend, just set this up and then just send it out, you know, and see if it works.
Yeah. And then with the landing page as well, I'm gonna just roll back on that as well. If you were to make a landing page, do you have any like free services or like recommended ones that you would use?
I've used a lot, and I've used a lot of free ones, but they break down eventually, and so I'm just like, man, they just pay for one. Honestly, like I've used ClickFunnels. Convertry is really good. I mean, Go High Level obviously has many landing pages, but plus a lot of other things as well. Like those three I've used like a lot, but there's a bunch. I've just found it's not worth trying to find like a cheap or free one. Like, it's $99 a month for most of these things. Totally worth it to have this landing page software, so you can just bang out different experiments.
Yeah, and for most people, like, look at a landing page is basically just like a website. I think that people get confused. Do I need a website or do I need a landing page? If you're trying to sell something or get someone to click through to buy something, just think of a landing page as one page, which is your website to sell. And then that makes life a lot easier, because I remember years ago when I was like, but do I need a website or a landing page? And then my brain just exploded and I like went into the fetal position on my bed, just like, I don't know marketing. And then you realize that like literally it's the same thing, but a website is like a brochure of what your company is, whereas a landing page is you have an intent. You just want to sell something. You want to get a service done, something that has a process by the end of it, maybe a dollar sign at the end of it.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. It's not a digital business card. That's basically it. You know? Yeah,
exactly. I love that. No, man, that's such a cool idea, though. Like, are you going to test this?
No, I cannot take any clients on at the moment. I'm just absolutely packed. So I want to share it so people can use it. So then you can come back and tell me how it's gone. But look, I've got two other things to show you, and I'm definitely go into the second one. It's a different style. I shared an image with you, and I want you to pull it up, and hopefully we'll be able to put this on the screen. I want you to have a read of it.
Okay. Dude hit my car and left a gift card. Turns out $50 goes pretty far when Hopper has the 4-star hotel you want to stay at $12 a night. Sorry, I hit your car. Take a vacation on me.
So this ad is from the Hopper brand, and they have hotels and like 4-star hotels. They're sharing their USP, but it's in the form of like a Twitter post. It's so clever because you're reading it as if it's normal content, but you've just been incepted and advertised to without. You've almost been Grand Theft advertised. I mean, some might say. So some might say. It's really good, really, really good. And I actually didn't realize it was an ad as I saw this, and then it took me a minute to be like, oh. And then I just literally searched up Hoppers.
So was it, when it came up, was it an organic post that came up, or was it an ad that was hidden?
It was an ad. Okay. Right? But I didn't know that. I didn't realize it just came up on the feed. And I was like, what? I thought it's so clever. Very clever.
Let's break this down, right? Because this is really cool. To me, right, the first thing that it like, there's no capital at the beginning, right? So it looks super natural. Dude hit my car, right? First of all, oh shit, we've all had that sort of thing happen at some point or another, right? And left a gift card. You've straight up gone like from the worst thing possibly happening in a day to, and it's kind of like, has he slapped me in the face with love or just, disrespect me? I need to learn more, right? What a great hook.
Exactly.
What a great hook.
And I'm thinking, like, is this gift card going to be enough to cover the damage this dude just did to your car? That's what I was thinking. So I kept reading,
It's like, this better be a good hotel, right? Like, so dude hits the card. Turns out $50 goes pretty far when Hopper has the 4-star hotel you want to stay at $12 a night. And it goes straight into the, like, what they're offering, right? So that part I think is great. And then I think the image, this is something that's really important that a lot of people don't take into consideration. They think ads need to be like these freaking like high quality, top level. You need the best images. You need to spend thousands and thousands to make it look absolutely crispy. But this is something that we've been testing recently. It's just a handwritten note because it looks like UGC. And for anyone that doesn't know what UGC means, user generated content. User generated content is anything you as a user generate. So it's going like, how can we make this not look like an ad? Grand Theft advertising. How do we advertise and steal people's attention without them knowing that it's an ad? Which I love the fact that we caught Rafay here, who is a marketer, and he's gone, oh no,
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, how can I then now use this? I went through the entire phase of that. It was great. Okay, last one. One's a video that I want you to watch, and it's amazing. So I'm going to let you watch it, and then I'm not going to say anything about it, and I want your raw thoughts on it, okay? Go.
Okay. So I've just sped up the clip here. It's me watching the video. You can watch it if you're on Spotify. If not, then you may not be able to. You can hear our voices being a little bit high-pitched here as well. But the ad is basically someone created AI of this guy getting angrier and angrier and angrier, as you can hear with the music that I fast forwarded as well, and my laugh there. And yeah, look, it's an ad. And I think anyone who wants to see more, they should definitely check the video, and they'll see what I mean. Cheers. Just coming to the end now. Bye bye bye. Yo, okay, so I've seen.
You watched it till the end, right?
Yeah. So it goes into the Simterra, right? So what it's doing is it's using a trending format that I've seen a couple times, where it's basically you're using ChatGPT to create an image, right? And then you say, but we can go further, ChatGPT. We can go further. We can make him angrier. We can make him like God levels angrier. We can make him and using that music to create such tension, and GPT is continuously saying we can't go further, and it's like, yes, we can. But the beautiful thing is that you're putting it through this whole engaging excitement, and AI images seem to be doing really well with those sort of stories rapidly. But then at the end, I love the fact that it goes, he used this product and now he's absolutely fine. And so it's a subtle kind of like return to actually this is an ad and you should buy this product.
Yeah. Dude, I had no idea it was an ad until that last frame. Like, no idea. I was just like, oh, this is fun. Let's see where this goes. And I'm like, oh, dang it. I was advertised to.
Oh, that's amazing. What we'll do is, because for people that are just listening to the audio, there may have been a little cut there. And what we'll do is we'll actually put the videos available for you to see so you can check it out afterwards. Because in my opinion, it's an ad that looks like a natural. It just looks natural again. It's funny because there was one, I think, I can't remember which brand it was. It might have been Fred Perry, or it might have been, it was a clothing brand, right? And it's exactly the same. What they did was that they've got images of like Bart Simpson smoking weed, right? And it's going like when you're smoking weed, but you're with the boys, right? And then it slides over the boys and you going out in the car ready to go to party, and it's still him like with a weed. It's completely AI generated, but subtly they put in. So you go home and you put your Fred Perry shirt on just because you're looking squeezy, and it moves on to the next one. And I was like, hold on a second, and I moved back to that one. I was like, why is he continuously wearing a Fred Perry in these? Like they really focused on it, but everyone was going like in the comments and stuff like, yeah, man, Bart's the dopest. Need to get myself a Fred Perry now. And I was like, oh my goodness, it worked. Like,
bro, can you find that clip and send it to me? I definitely want to check that out. That sounds awesome. Awesome.
What we'll do is I'll add that one in the link as well, if I can find it. I don't know if it was Fred Perry, but it's a brand, right? And I was just like, really? And though one of the accounts that was doing it, they weren't doing these ads as ads. They were doing them as natural, like just organic posts. But the account had only been open for like a few weeks, right? And they were getting a lot of views, and they had more than one account. So it was guerrilla marketing. Basically, it was guerrilla marketing. They were testing out a new way, and it was working. So it was interesting. Yeah.
Brilliant. Man, hopefully you guys that are watching or listening to this don't feel like you don't have to be stuck inside of a box when you're advertising. And you can literally rip these exact ideas and apply them to your own brands, or remix them for yourself as well. I mean, there's so much out there. If we can add humor and engagement to any of our creatives, any of our ads, that's what will drive not only an action, but also fans. You know, I become fans of brands that market in a great way. I'm just like, oh, you know what? These guys are funny. And, you know, if I think about buying that thing in the future, they're the first people I'm going to think about buying from, even if I'm not the target market. So it's just a win-win.
It's the eliciting emotion. I think that's such an important thing that people don't take into consideration. Is just like when you're putting an ad out, like there's all types of ones. You can put a static image that just says, this is my product, and then people click on it and they buy it. But if you can elicit emotion and just be like, you know, comedy is a good one, sadness is a good one. You know, people will remember your brand. People will remember your product because people love stories. The reason why I've said this before, and I'll say it again and again and again till I go like red in the face. if you can put a story behind a piece of content, it's going to have legs for longer, and it's going to get more attention. It's going to be more engaging, because we as humans, we love stories. We love stories. This, I love stories. Do you love stories? Do you watch movies? Like,
nah, barely.
Nah, he's a robot.
I love stories, of course, obviously.
Oh, that's really
100%.
cool.
It's really just like, can you surprise and delight them? And if you just add that as like a criteria for any creative you put out there, or even if not any creative, like even just 20% of your creatives, if you can just be like, am I surprising or delighting the viewer with this? And then you can split test the 80% you're not doing that and the 20% you are. I mean, I think you'd be surprised, not as surprised on how much engagement you get on that 20% that you're doing that test with. So it's worth a try. But yeah, man. Next week, I want you to come with some dope examples for me, so we can go into it together.
Yeah, so I think the way that we're looking at doing this poddy is that we're going to be more specific with how we throw content up here. And Rafay just came in and was like, yo, I want to talk about 3 different types of ads that have caught his attention right now. And again, that's something that's really massive for us, is just understanding that it doesn't matter at what point you are in your journey regarding marketing or ideation. Like, we're still at the front of it, because it's changing so much that if you just come in and go, you know what, I'm going to test some ads, and you've never done it before, you might hit an absolute gold mine just because your brain is thinking differently. So don't be scared to test things out, and don't be scared when things don't work out for the first ad you do, because 9 times out of 10, it's the 3rd, 4th, 5th which might hit. So
Exactly right. I think we've just wrapped out episode 2 of Grand Theft Advertising right there.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards. And make sure to go steal some ads or a car, whatever you think is necessary to get your Grand Theft Advertising kicks and itch. Much love, guys, and we'll see you in the next pod.